Hello, dividend executives. Welcome back. The stock market is open, so you already know we are buying stocks and we are adding assets to the portfolio. Well, you probably guessed it. Crypto's been going crazy. The portfolio has been on the move, and we received a bunch of dividends. In fact, $270 worth of dividends since the last video. So the assets are starting to build, the paychecks are starting to accumulate, and the dividend snowball is rolling faster than it ever has. So buying power is sitting at $14,192. We have some options on the table. We have some dividends that came in that I want to go over, and we have some stocks we need to buy before the ex-dividend dates. We also have YieldMax announcement and Roundhill announcements, as we do every single Tuesday, Wednesday. So let's get to it. Let's buy some stocks and let's take a look at where our dividends have come in. So if we come in here and we look at our dividends from the last week, last time we talked, we had the October 18th dividends. We had Friday paychecks that came in big time. RDTE, $29.88. MSTY, $156.50. My gosh, look at the dividend on this, $4.20 per share. IWMY, $5.92. YieldMax or YMAX, $18.59. RDTE, $24.26. XDTE, $34.11. And Glad, that should be coming in tomorrow at $5.77. And then the other one that should be coming in soon as well should be Devo. So those are the dividends. We are almost closing the month of October. It's a record-breaking month. You probably guessed it, and I'm pretty stoked about it. So let's get to it. Let's do what we do best, and that's buy assets. First things I want to buy today is going to be YMAX. I have been slowly increasing this position, and I want to add a little bit more to it. Right now, we are down 1.31% on the actual position, but let's keep in mind we have made a bunch of dividends on this one. So we're going to come in here. We're going to buy, let me come back in here, $50 worth. We're going to be doing $150 worth. We deposited $100 worth of fresh cash this week, and we also have some options income that we have made this week as well on our CleanSpark calls. So $50 into YMAX. Then we're coming back in and we're buying a little bit of RDTE. So let's jump in. Let's buy a little bit of that. We are up 2.83% on this position as of right now, not including all the dividends as well. So even better. Another $50, 1.15 shares purchased there, and the dividend snowball gets a little bit bigger. And then the next one on the list we've been talking about, I had a video on it a couple of weeks ago. I want to just add a little bit more to this position. It's only 1.17% of the portfolio. So we're going to buy $50. We're going to average down a little bit, 3.83 shares there. And I just want to build this up a little bit. And we're down 44% on paper and on this actual position. But let's not forget all the dividends we have received from TSLY. So those are the big updates in purchasing that we are going to be doing today. Again, YieldMax and Roundhill have the ex-dividend date of 10/31, so get your buys in today if you are looking to increase your income on those ones. And then one that I do want to talk about is BITO. This one has been on an absolute ripper, up 14.30% or $2.56. We are almost to our break even on the share base, which is down 3.73%. But remember, we have received hundreds of dollars of dividends in this. So this total return on BITO is looking absolutely stellar. Same with our QDT and XDT. We're up on both of those positions. And things are looking good in the account. So let me just look at where we're at on this one. We're still up 6% on MVDY. If we get a dip on MVDY, I do want to buy more. One I want to talk about as well, BITO, we have the $22 calls out there. I sold these for $60 bucks. If they get called away, well, BITO will be in profit. So we would lose our shares at a gain. But I don't think it'll happen. We have dividends coming out on 11/1, where we'll see what the dividends are. So next video, we'll take a look at those, and then they should pay out. They usually pay out around the 8th to the 10th of next month. So we will be monitoring that as well. So the account is up to $31,820, up $19, almost $2,000 for the week. For the month, up 15%, almost 16 or $4,372. For the 1 year, up 38%. Or $8,861, and an all-time, look at that graph, that's absolutely nuts, up 29.20%. So not bad. This is a non-growth focused account. Boy, it is good to see it up 30% for something that is just dividends. Crazy to see. So let's look at the options. Well, we're up $70 on CleanSpark. I sold a call for $155, just collect and rent on my shares. We have some shares that we were assigned at the $12.50. You can see them here. We are up. Our total return on this, yeah, it's down to $10.49. So let's jump back in here. And this is including some of our options income. So $10.49 here is our average cost on CleanSpark. We're up about $1,000 on CleanSpark, and then we are getting paid. If we could show it here, we're getting paid what, $100 to $150 every single week. Yeah, right there. $25 for this call, $135 for this call, $155 for that call. And if we were to get aggressive again this week on our CleanSpark calls, if we went in here and rolled this position, which I'm going to wait till Friday to do, and we want to do the 13 again, $365. Oh boy, that's what we do. We make money, we sell options, we transfer it from our big account, or we make it in this account and we buy dividend stocks, rinse, repeat, boom. That's how the account's up 40% in the last year. So let's take a look at one thing. Let me come in here. My tweet from last night, Roundhill announced their dividend distributions, ex-dividend date 10/31, pay date 11/1. QDTE is down just a little bit, but it's down, and we're announcing 20.4 cents per share on QDTE, XDT 15.4 per share, RDTE 25.7 per share. So these are all down, not a significant amount, but if it protects the NAV, I'm not against it. The stock market has been on a ripper. QQQ, I think, hit a new all-time high this week. I know it went over $500. And so when you see that, they're going to get in the money calls and they're going to have to buy them back. So they're long. It just is what it is. So their calls go in the money. They have to buy them back to close them at the end of the day. And it's going to affect the dividends. So those are all down, but we still have that passive income coming in. Another thing here, YMAX announced their distributions for YBIT 65%, TSLY 60%, TSMY 54%, YMAX 66%, YMAG 41%. So we're going to see a 22 cent payout on YMAX, which is really good. YMAG 15 cents, TSLY 59.8 cents. And this is going to be paying what on 11/1. And then, yeah, you can see the rest of them here. So lots of dividends coming in for next week. YMAX, YMAG, MVDY, DIPS, FBY, GDXY, BABO, JPMO, MRNY, and PLTY. So not too bad. Lots of dividends coming in. We're going to start next month with a banger. And of course, we added some funds today, so we should increase our dividend income. I do want to jump into the spreadsheet. Let's just get that pulled up here, sheets. And I just want to take a look. So we are on a record-breaking month this month. So far, October, we are looking at $1,232. If we want to look at where that money came in from, you can see it right here. $357 has come in from Roundhill products, $433 from YieldMax, and then BITO, as you see it, 27% so far, $340. So we have a lot of money that has been coming in. We have a record-breaking month at $1,232. And it's cool to see where the money's coming in. If we look at the stack up so far, not too bad. 2024 up to $632. And we inched it up by almost $100 from September to October. If we can do it again in November, that would be awesome. We shall see, though. You never know what the dividends are going to bring. But I love seeing $1,200 worth of paychecks come in. I mean, we're averaging, what, $300 every single week on average of passive dividend income. This is what we're doing here. If we want to look at the total dividends we've received, these are our front runners. BITO at 1110, NVDY at 830, CONY at 603, TSLY at just under 500. And then the options income is getting back on it. We haven't been trading a lot of options in this account, but now the CleanSpark is way above my cost basis. We're getting a little aggressive and we are cashing in, especially with Bitcoin running to almost new all-time highs. So $178 so far in October. I need to get this number updated. We should break the $300 mark, no problem. And we will be rolling calls on Friday if our shares don't get called away at the 13, and we will stay aggressive, and we're going to collect a couple $100 there as well. Last thing, let's look at the graph. This is insane. Look at the growth. We are just on an upward trajectory now at that $1,200 mark. Obviously, we have a little bit of options income in there at the $123. We'll continue to stack the options income. But the income is looking really good, and the percentages are looking good as well. Most of it coming from BITO, XDTE, QDTE, RDTE, and MSTY. But you can see they're slowly stacking up as well. So that's the update for that. Let me also jump into, so you can see how the dividend snowball has been going. This is where we're sitting on our shares. On average, QDT is paying about $1 over the last 4 payments. XDT 81 cents, RDTE $1.15, which will round off for us around $330 to $350 a month. So that's the update on that. Next week, we should add the update on month 3 of margin. So stay tuned for that. And I want to double check and look at the QDT. Again, we got our payments on Friday. We saw that in the history. We're up to 143 shares. Our total return on this is $453. So that is really nice. That's a great total return on QDTE. Similar picture on XDTE, $414 total return, up to 142 shares. RDTE up to 72 shares, total return of 169, and we've dripped ourselves 1.9 shares. YMAX dripped ourselves 5.3 shares, total return of 101, and up to 81 shares there, and we just increased the position. So slowly but surely, we are increasing positions, we're increasing our dividend income, and we are increasing the snowball. Great to see this rolling lot just slowly trickle up each and every single week. I'm not putting a whole lot of buying power into it right now. I'm just letting my shares drip me more shares, and you can see right there 10.23 shares on QDT alone that it has bought itself. So that's the update for this week. Not too bad. So far, so good. We just continue to buy stocks every week. We reinvest our dividends, and we sell a little bit of options to pad the dividend purchases. So thank you, everybody. As always, don't forget to tune in each and every single week. Don't forget to drop a like. Happy investing, and we'll catch you next time.